Gold medal, Japan. In the red, 2022 world champion Miwa Morikawa for UWW, 23-year-old Alina Kasibieva. Looking for her first world medal. Coming off a tough European championship in which she lost the bronze medal match. But victories against Kilty for the USA, the high-octane Grace Boolin of Norway. A couple of huge victories early in the wrestling this week in Zagreb, and now here she is, a chance for her first world gold.
This wizard position, Kasabieva is doing a great job of keeping elevated, but Morikawa comes on top, keeps her head elevated, gets the shuck by go behind.
Morikawa, two-time Asian champion, won the gold medal at 22, and then again this year in Amman, Jordan, her second continental title. We've seen her occasionally at 72 kilos. For the most part, she has been at this weight class, 65 kilograms for Japan.
Yeah, within the women's wrestling community, I would say, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, Miwa Morikawa is kind of like the Miss Congeniality. She's super social, she's super awesome, very well loved, and also a huge wrestling fan. You saw a picture she posted on Instagram recently wearing her Iranian wrestling outfit given to her by the head coach, her and her teammate, Nonaka, who's also here supporting the team. And she is being led in her corner by a legend in this sport. A woman who needs no introduction, Kaori Icho, four-time Olympic champion. She took a little bit of a break from the Japanese wrestling scene following her retirement, and she's back and has just been such a joyous force.
Back into the wizard position we were just in a few moments ago. Morikawa was able to get two the last time we were here. They work it near the edge, but the hands were out of bounds. Referee signaling the hand touch before the control, so no points. Now, that's something you often see talking about the Japanese coach and their legend in the corner. You get away from the sport, then it recharges the battery a little bit. You realize how much you miss it, and you get back involved. Japan's certainly happy she did. What an asset to have.
Indeed, I think it's sometimes especially hard when, you know, you have coaches that have been in the game for a long time, and you know, sometimes there's disagreements, or you know, I think it's really hard for athletes to leave the sport in a good state mentally. Really hard to leave on your own terms, and I think it does always, like you mentioned, take time to go away and come back both revitalized and ready to make change. And it's just particularly hard in women's wrestling, I think, globally, but it's great to see leaders like Kaori there in the game. Same thing, the seatbelt wizard position. 3 times the charm here maybe for Kasabieva, but Morikawa makes the adjustment, tables that left leg, keeps herself elevated, her head high.
Yeah, look at the head position by Morikawa. It's like a statue, and into the period. And a 4-0 lead for the 2022 world champion, who at the end of this match, whether it's a gold or a silver, she will now be a 5-time world championship medalist.
Yeah, and it's also cool to see, you know, Team USA, Team Japan, they bring a lot of training partners to the big events like this, which is really vital. We talked about Nonaka is here. Team USA has a lot of training partners, and that's also a really important role to play. And Morikawa has been a training partner at on many Olympic teams, on many world championships where she did not compete. But when she does get the opportunity, like earlier when she won her world championship, like this year, she is a gamer. And you know, even myself, I was a training partner in London 2012. I got to be at the Olympic Games, see behind the scenes, and know that 4 years later, I was going to do everything that I could to have a performance that I was proud of. And so I think it's really important for young athletes to think about how you take these opportunities, how you can make the most of every situation, and ultimately have a champion mindset on how you show up.
There are so many advantages to that. You get to see firsthand what goes on when you are traveling, but yet you're not competing. The frustrations of the athletes, their mental approach, how they handle their diet, all those different things. You get the front row seat to observe. Huge, huge.
Exactly. But it takes a special person to kind of humble their ego, to really be in service of the team. And, you know, I've seen Morikawa for like the last 10 years do that, and it's been very impressive to watch. In on the legs is Kasabieva from afar. Morikawa does a great job of shutting it down, circling to the front.
Action.
Neutralizing that offensive attack there from Kasabieva. She's definitely one of the young ones to watch at this weight class, and it's going to be really exciting. Talked about, you know, the journey of not necessarily being successful at your first World Championships, but really putting in the work, going back to the drawing board, making those tiny adjustments, and letting the fruits of that harvest come to fruition.
And we saw that throughout the course of the year with Kасабиева having really good ranking series events. Use those to build her brand and face stiff competition. She did that. She succeeded. A silver in Hungary, a bronze at the second ranking series event in Mongolia earlier this year. Now taking it even a step higher, although she is running into a buzzsaw with Morikawa, who will extend the lead. See, Morikawa tries to get something from parterre, has that leg bent back and in control. Now starts to work on the upper half. Still has that leg bent. Referee will keep an eye on the angle of the knee, which is bent underneath from Kасабиева. And we go back to the center. Here's that takedown 2 for Morikawa.
Yeah, it's super important here on all the takedowns. You really see how she isolates the ankle, brings it up to her hip, secures it there as she works across the body for the takedown. She's wrestled phenomenally so far at this tournament. Really powerful from every position. Underhook position here. Kасabиева bringing Morikawa to the zone, but just a quick little circle inbounds. Little redirect there with that right hand as she comes inside the leg, circles inside. Kасabиеva dropping to her knees. And just look how Morikawa leverages her up.
Center. Up center.
32 seconds, and this has been a very business-like approach for Morikawa. She established herself early. Very steady, nothing flashy, just rock solid, steady, fundamental wrestling, disciplined wrestling that you have brought up so many times with the Japanese wrestlers. And this is a typical Japanese match right here.
Yeah, exactly. But trust me, it's business in the front and party in the back from Miwa Morikawa. Slide by, go behind. She gets the exposure, builds her lead to 2.
Action, man.
All of the offense coming from the feet tonight for Morikawa, and referee will let this one wind down. And for the second time, she is a world champion. Miwa Morikawa, a 5-time world championship medalist, and for the first time since 2022, back on top of the world. And believe me, Zagreb will know it tonight. If you see her, she'll have one of the biggest smiles around. Contagious enthusiasm that Morikawa brings each and every day. A wave of gratitude. Japan has another gold medalist.